Hello and welcome back to another edition of the MCR. This is TJ, I'm Mac, and we are the MCR. And today we're going to talk about, I've become a very skeptical, cynical person as I've gotten older, and I'll be 64 here in a couple of months. You'll be there first. It's a race you'll win every time. But an armed man impersonating a bodyguard showed up at RFK Jr.'s LA event. Coincidentally, that's where his father was assassinated by a Democrat. And he's been identified and charged. And one of the reasons I'm very suspicious is this. Adrian Paul Esperano, 44, has been charged with a felony charge of carrying a concealed weapon. And he was carrying and I don't know why this is important in the story, but he was carrying a shoulder holster loaded with pistols and spare ammunition magazines. And here's where it gets interesting. And a U.S. Marshal's badge on a lanyard and a belt clip federal ID. So unless this guy was a Fed or a U.S. Marshal, where's he getting that stuff? And if he's not, who provided it for him? And it makes me wonder, I don't believe it is beneath the Democrats to send some nutter in there to whack this guy because he's overturning the apple cart for them. He's trying to get the Democratic Party back to where it once was, which still wouldn't get him my support or yours, I don't believe, or anyone who watches this channel except for the trolls. But he was going to do a Twitter interview and a TikTok interview, and this guy shows up with God knows what intention. I mean, why else would he be there?
Yeah,
Any guesses?
Well, I kind of saw the article and read it, but I thought I'm just kind of curious how they caught the guy. Was it did it appear legitimate enough to get in close proximity, or at some point did they actually look into the guy and say, hey, this is a bad guy up to no good?
If we're on a security team and you and I have been working together like we did for 15 years, and all of a sudden we see this other guy we don't know, is my suspicion. Who's this guy? And this is because he's been denied Secret Service protection as a presidential candidate. And according to this article, in Mr. Kennedy's campaign, it's the only time the White House has ever denied someone Secret Service protection. Now, there's nuts out there who just like to put another Kennedy on the notch on the bedpost. So to deny this man Secret Service protection as a presidential candidate is ridiculous. I think it's just more of the same. If they, now they've taken it maybe to another level. They'll let you get whacked. They may not do it themselves, but they'll let it happen because they can't have competition. No one can disagree with them.
Almost their inaction almost makes them complicit to the act.
Absolutely, it does. I mean, if he were assassinated, God forbid that happened, and I would say the same thing about Joe Biden. I wouldn't want him to be assassinated. I mean, that's not how we're supposed to do things in this country. But I think things have changed, and I don't think it's beneath them to do such things, to let this guy get whacked.
Similar concerns been brought up involving Trump, and to the point of, well, at least since he was a prior president, he has some Secret Service protection. But had it not been for that little fact, Trump would be in the same boat as RFK.
Well, I do believe, and maybe I'm mistaken, but I think it was on Tucker Carlson has insinuated that. They want to let Trump get assassinated.
Well, yeah, the current administration, they don't care. I'm telling you right now, they don't give a rip. They don't. You know what? It just makes their job easier at the end of the day.
Well, to me, it seems like there's some red flags here. Do you know where to get a U.S. Marshal's badge? Because I don't.
I wouldn't know where to begin. But see, we're not bad guys, so
That's true.
You know,
we're not out
it takes a professional criminal to, you know what, and that's why they're professional criminals, because they would know how to go about getting one.
It could be this guy is just a nut, but given their actions and what they've done and how if you go against them, they want to destroy your life. You know, a guy gets 16 years in prison for shaking a fence on January 6th. So we passed the Rubicon, as you like to use that phrase.
Yeah, that's my favorite phrase.
Yeah, yes, it is.
You know, but here's the thing too. If something really does happen to him now, oh my goodness, they're gonna point right back to this and say, why were you asleep at the wheel?
Well, I don't, you know, that makes sense what you just said, but is the mainstream media going to do that?
They don't care. They don't care.
That's what I mean. They'll let it go. They'll say, first off, they'll say it was a white Trump supporter who did it, whether it was a guy from Africa. They'll say he was a white Trump supporter who used an AK-47 or an AR-15, only to find out it was a pistol or a shotgun. But that's their first knee-jerk reaction. They don't even investigate before they report.
You know, I saw a picture of the guy, and you know, at a glance, he could almost, at a glance, you'd think, okay, there's a cop. You know.
Sure, he was decked out like a cop.
He sure was.
Yeah, so
he sure was.
He's having. There's a group, and I don't have it in front of me. It's an acronym, DCLFL or something like that. Who are paying for Mr. Kennedy's security detail right now, because you know they don't want to see the guy get whacked by lack of Secret Service protection.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's my rant about that, and thanks for your 2 cents. Okay. So with that, we'll wrap it up. As we always say, be safe, watch your